Hey you guys, so I've been asked many times to do group arena but solo, and so here it is. What you often see nowadays is even if you go into group arena as alone, you'll often just end up 1v1 because many players go in and just solo it to get whatever. It's taken me a while to do this because usually I'll ask around the guild, see if anybody needs to go, but it looks like this is relatively late in the arena time, and I think most people found their groups or whatever. And I couldn't convince Blinn to go. I don't know, he's distracted or something. So I decided, oh, I'll just finally do that solo group arena video that everybody keeps asking for. It's a really nice time to do this as well because I'm all set up with really nice resistances for class war. So I think at this point I had maybe an expert and like 1 2/3 of expert dimensions, and so I have a lot of light resistance, a lot of wind resistance, and a lot of dark resistance. I don't have any dark dimensions yet in this video, but my dark resistance is up to 1300. Even without dimensions, because this is after I made all those level 10 resistance crystals, which I did a video on, and so yeah, that worked out very nicely. Another big factor in arena and why I'll get some tougher fights in the future, and why I take so little damage is because my cards for arena are very good. So I'll show those at the end, but I didn't really see anything better to put cards into since my impression is that the cards for the multiplayer dungeon cards don't count towards Narendera, or else that would have been nice. So I just go for the arena ones, and I think the beachy ones as well. So I don't have the increased damage dealt built up that much for arena, but I have the full damage decrease ones for arena. So here's the first big fight against Ariel XP, who's one of the top mages. Usually makes it into Warlord's Hall for mage class wars. Card Rono, who was I think the first person to have an Odin. And then where's the other name? Now it's grayed out, so I'm having a hard time finding him. I can't read it. But yeah, that's Odin. The reason why I'm taking so little damage is one, because I have a lot of dark and light resistance. The other thing is that Odin doesn't really have the resistance crystals to back up that light plus dark. So probably if he wants to be able to really take advantage of having that sylph, he's going to have to increase his reduce res. Players like Ray 7 has fantastic reduce res, but she doesn't have the 2 element sylphs. But Lala also has very, very high reduce res, probably the best in our cross server right now, and she has the Odin, and that's really those two things combined together is what really makes that Odin potent. So I think the other players who have Odin are not as threatening because they just don't have the reduce res. As long as other people protect against both light and dark relatively evenly, they'll be able to manage alright. So here's Kavla and Heffalump, missing Johnny Walk and Hermie, who are usually in their Titan War team and Group Arena team, and so I was a little bit worried about Hef's Electro Pet, but I think he's really falling behind in BR a bit now. I think he has really slowed down or quit, and so he hasn't been dealing quite as much. He was nastier in Titan War. I think maybe he was buffed up or something. And again, because I have a nice card bonus here, people are not dealing that much damage. So to a certain extent, Panda was actually just getting in my way during this, but I didn't take him off. But a lot of chaoses in Group Arena, and all the chaoses are player priority, so they're hitting me, and then I just end up killing Panda. But I guess it doesn't hurt to keep him around. I don't think it was a huge factor. So Fire Sylph is probably the thing that's been doing the best, but here I get a nasty illusion. Fire Delphic only did a 1 damage crit to me. And here's Asher, a buddy of mine. Asher, past couple of class wars, has been bringing a light sylph, but I think that's pretty much a ruined idea at this point. I think it was really fun for a couple of months and a good idea because I don't think people were protecting much against light, and you know, most people bring dark pets so that even if they do protect against light, their resistance isn't that great. But now that so many players are getting light plus dark sylphs, you know, people, you know, I'm going to be definitely protecting against light, and so bringing a light sylph is not going to do him any good this class war, so he's going to have to come up with something else. I don't know, bring a fire pet or water or electro or something like that. I think electro is high risk just because it's a single target sylph, but might be interesting. Here's the ice bolt. Oh, it did stun, but it also killed him, so. And Asher again. I was also mentioning to Asher about our server merge. I think even Shock somewhere in the guild chat earlier mentioned that we're getting a merge with Kabam 2, which I think listed in the rankings is actually Kabam 1, which I found very confusing. I went and tried to look up to see if Kabam 1 and Kabam 2 were the same, and when I went on the Kabam 1 servers, I got shifted into like a Kong server or something. I saw Miranda H and V-Notch Master and a bunch of Kong players over there. So anyway, that was very confusing. But whatever it is, at least listed their Kabam 2, and so we're getting a merge with them. I think that they're definitely the oldest or the most long-time players out of the Kabam bunch, so their average BR is quite high, and so they're pretty competitive, which is nice. Nobody quite up to my BR, but definitely a lot of people higher BR than, say, like Shock and Scoon, who are in my group. Definitely like 6 or 7 people who are stronger than them. And then maybe I think Saint is right around the same BR as Robin, maybe a little bit higher. Robin just today actually hit 3 million BR, so that's really exciting. She's getting super strong. She's really catching up to me on Holy Forge materials since I've pretty much capped out. So she's been able to gain a lot of BR there, and I haven't been able to do as much. So here's let me find this name. Oh, Alexis, and so in the team with Rono's Big Odin again. I think Ariel must have better reduced res or something than Rono, but I'm not totally sure. I don't know, they're both not doing much to me. So that big Delphic is what's really nasty about Odin, but again, because my resistance is so high, he's not doing much. I'm lucky that I don't need to heal much because these guys are spamming Chaos and Amnesia and all that stuff, so they definitely were slowing me down before with that Amnesia. Ariel's got that bleed on her dark pet, which is interesting. And later in the game, once you start going, so see, that was a huge bleed actually, like a 140k bleed or something crazy like that. So once you get into the bigger damage increases, like, you know, 100, 150%, bleeds are very, very nasty and can do a lot of damage. So that's something to think about if, you know, we're getting into longer fights. People have huge resistances, so all of a sudden bleeds become much more attractive when you go into high damage increase fights and people are not taking a lot of damage. So bleeds are often the way to win that. Mages don't really have bleed skills, so we have to rely either on runes or on sylphs to get those. Knights, though, have a bleed on their Death Warrant, and archers have Poison Arrow, and maybe, do archers have any other bleeds? I think Poison Arrow is the main one. Here's Cav and F, and I think Cav's just chatting with me at this point because she's not gonna bother prolonging the fight. But yeah, I think that wraps up most of the really tough fights. I still end up getting some fuller teams. I'm glad it wasn't all just single player teams this evening. I probably wouldn't even be showing this video if all I got were, you know, one player teams in group arena. But some nights it really ends up like that, which is not necessarily bad. You know, you get easy rewards, easy wins, and so you got a lot of points and stuff. It's not quite group arena when everybody's going in there alone. So here, I think this is the second to last fight. A lot of dark pets, which I think in Class Wars week, maybe dark pets are not the greatest idea in group arena, just because you know, so many people are preparing for Class Wars and they're going to protect against dark, they're going to protect against light, depending on their class. You know, archers and knights, depending on what they're worried about. You know, most people have a good idea of what their opponents are going to bring. You know, the physical attack classes probably protect against electro, possibly wind. I don't think Miranda brings that fire pet of hers to night finals, or at least I haven't heard of her doing that. Not recently anyway, and so I'm not sure if they protect against fire. And then for the mages, you know, most are gonna, you know, there are a lot of Odins out there now, so they're gonna protect against dark, light, and anybody going for first place is going to have to protect against wind, because Ray 7, you know, obviously has a huge wind pet. So Lara also has a red wind pet, so he could potentially not use his Loki and use the wind instead. So I'm not totally sure what he'll use. My guess is Odin. But, you know, if you have an Odin, I don't see why you wouldn't use it. But yeah, so I'm in for quite a bit. I think the mages have overtaken the knights on number of dark plus light sylphs, so that is quite scary. Mostly because I'm the one who has to face them. I think really the people who don't have dark plus light, so don't have Loki or Odin, who have the best chances of being able to beat them are Ray and myself. These guys telling me to be gentle, which I'm not quite sure what gentle means in a war game. I always kill people in the wrong order with these rings. You should really just kill them either at the same time, or kill one of them twice and then kill the other one. But anyway, so I managed 15-0 alone, but that's not always the case. Oftentimes if I go alone, which isn't that often, but maybe once in a while I'll just putz around in there, or with a much weaker team. There'll definitely be teams that are stronger than myself. So those are the resistances, really quite big. And then I show the cards as well, go into my multiplayer arena ones. And so here's the damage received decrease. It's decreased by 30%, and they cap at level 9. And then my increase one is level 5. And then the other two are not as relevant. I mean, they're very specialized, and they're nice, I'm sure, but I mean, they're very expensive point-wise, so I think I'll just focus on the other ones for now. So anyway, that is my solo group arena. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think it is really nice that they have this feature now, so that people can, you know, it's sometimes really hard, especially for the less active servers, to be able to get groups for this type of stuff. So I think it's a nice update. Anyway, so take care, you guys, and have a good day.